this interesting. Instead of using a ferrocell, I'm using a $1,000 monster magnet. It's as large as my hand. Now, what I'm doing is I'm placing my body perfectly perpendicular over the magnet. It doesn't matter how I shift my body. We have a centripetal point here that is cooler than the surrounding centrifugal. So I'm actually able to show you the difference between the centrifugal and centripetal part of this gigantic monster magnet that's very dangerous, by the way, simply by thermal reflectivity. You can see that it's cooler here than it is along the centrifugal. You also see it shift in shape. Now, even if I place my entire hand on here and place even heating and then let go, you see, while it warms the entire magnet up, the central part of the centripetal convergence right here is unchanged. So I'm actually using the thermal reflectivity like a mirror on the plating on this magnet from my body. But unlike a mirror, which would reflect the image evenly, because there is a centrifugal vortex here and a centripetal vortex here, the drain here basically, and the spout here, I am seeing two totally different thermal signatures. And no one has ever seen this before, and I know there's certainly not another video like it on YouTube. So, you saw it here first, folks. You're actually seeing the effect of thermal reflectivity in differentiation between centrifugal divergence and centripetal convergence. Here we have 4 6mm ball magnets. I just have 2 of them taped white and 2 of them taped red, and they're hanging from a tripod here. This is a N45 Gauss 6" by 2" extremely powerful beast. You probably think I just got done spinning the 2 ball magnets, but no, they've been twitching like that for hours now. The reason being is that they are hovering a hair off center of the centripetal returning convergent magnetic field, and it's perpetually twitching like that because it's twitching in the inflowing centripetal convergent field. Now, spin up the brass flywheel on this gyroscope, and we'll take a look at something. Let's use a felt pad from a Dremel tool, and I'm going to place it right at the centripetal convergent center of this magnet. You could hear it spinning, revving up really high. I'm going to try to hold it really stationary, which of course I can't hold it perfectly stationary. Of course I could let go of it for a second too, but I don't want to do that. I want to show you something important. Now, what's happening is I have this flywheel positioned dead center, or mostly dead center, over the the centripetal convergent vortex. And you're able to see this vortex with a ferrocell. This sucker will spin and spin and spin and spin until you're so bored that you wouldn't want to watch this damn video anymore. Okay? Spin and spin. It just spin, 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 spin. So now, let's place it at the centrifugal divergent edge and watch what happens. Not touching it. Boom. Immediate braking. Now this is quantifiably, I hate to use the word quantifiably, it is quantifiable, however, with a Gauss meter. You have an extremely high flux density right here at the dead center, but that is the centripetal convergent. Just think of like a tornado vortex, returning right here. You have the return point right here, okay? So I'm able to sit this flywheel here until the cows come home. It'll just spin and 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 spin. Okay, great. I'm able to put it over here, and boom! Immediate braking.
Okay, these are those little piezoelectric elements. I got a whole bunch of these from a surplus store in California years ago. I've used them for all kinds of things. I think I paid a nickel a piece for them. They make pretty good vibration sensors and also speakers. Here I've got one hooked up to the red output lead of my function generator, and then I'm going to take the other output lead of the function generator and just touch it to the surface there. So you can see that there's pretty good output from these little puppies. It's your standard buzzer speaker thing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to use. So here, there it is. Here, inside here, can't go with that. Inside here is my stack of magnets. I don't have one individual magnet, but I made a little spool out of stacking these round magnets together with bigger ones on the end. I can't take it out of there, but it's a bifilar coil, 150 and 150 turns of number 27 magnet wire wrapped around this little spool that I made out of a stack of small diameter magnets and then larger diameter magnets for the end pieces. And then I wrapped that whole thing in aluminum foil tape. Okay, here's the final thing. There's the coil in there, and I've got a piezo glued to the end, and then a little full wave bridge made out of Schottky diodes there. And then there's two LEDs, two identical red LEDs, one on the output and one just right across the input. So this LED is being driven by the raw output of the function generator, and then this LED is the output of the so-called magnetic resonance amplifier. Okay, so I'm going to, right now I'm feeding it with a sine wave, so I'm going to turn up the frequency. And I guess you can see that with those audio frequencies, there's not a lot of output yet with a sine wave. So let me switch that to a bipolar square wave. Now you can see that there's a little bit of output with the bipolar square wave going down. No big changes there. Okay. But let's go back to the sine wave. And then let's go to some higher frequencies, and this is where things get interesting. Okay, so here you can see a little flicker there back and forth at 98 kilohertz. Now we're going further up. Let's see, there, right there, is 126 kilohertz, and you can see we have very dim glow in the input bulb, but really buku brightness on the output. So we'll continue going up, higher and higher and higher in frequency until, let's see, this is 394 kilohertz, and the output bulb is much brighter than the input bulb. Is that showing up on there? And then if I go to a square wave, both bulbs get quite a bit brighter, but the output bulb is still much brighter than the input bulb at a frequency of just about 400 kilohertz. Now if I go even higher than that, now I'm at just below 4 megahertz, and square wave going down, 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 down. So at the higher frequencies, like 4 megahertz, this right now is 150 megahertz, I mean 150 kilohertz, sorry. Output bulb is much brighter than the input bulb. don't know what all this means. It's just a report. Thank you for watching.